Hey guys, it's Bruce here with the Aquarium Life. I think this is a great opportunity to go over this topic here today. What I wanted to talk about was not necessarily rebuilding or repairing these pumps, but if you run into a situation where you are doing a rebuild or a shaft seal replacement, sometimes the impeller will get seized onto the pump and you can't get it off. And so I was thinking I was really clever one time, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put a chain wrench on this thing and I'm going to get it off that way. Even if I break the impeller, I'll get it off. So I put a chain wrench on there, and sure enough, I get the impeller off, but it snaps the whole shaft off. So I'm like, okay, I'm never going to do that again. Lesson learned. So hopefully you guys won't do that. So if you get an impeller that is seized onto the shaft and you cannot get it off, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to actually want to cut the impeller off. The impellers are about $30, and a replacement pump, obviously you probably very well know, they're around $300 or $400. So today's video, I'm going to do a demonstration on removing the impeller, saving the rest of the pump. So what happens here is you've got a metal insert inside of the impeller. That metal insert, once that shaft seal starts leaking, is going to be exposed to water. Particularly on this setup, it was exposed to salt water, so it gets a lot of corrosion in there. It becomes completely seized onto the shaft, and we need to cut that away. Now, before we get all excited and cut the impeller off, we can try soaking it. And what you can do is get some rust penetrant on the shaft. It'll kind of leak down into there, and I've been successful a number of times with that. Soaking it with rust penetrant overnight, maybe even over the course of a couple days, and sometimes that'll break free. But if not, you don't want to use so much excessive force that you could break that shaft, because it will break. So today's video is cutting this thing apart. Alright, so like I said earlier, we're going to sacrifice this impeller here in order to save the pump. So let's get rid of this outer part so we don't have anything left to cut through, or anything extra to cut through, I should say. And I'm going to use a Dremel tool, and we're going to Alright guys, so we've gotten to this point here, and I've accidentally bumped the camera. So let me move the camera here for a second. Sorry, bear with me. So I've removed that outer piece. I've still got this. I was kind of cutting it down like a pizza so that I could hopefully pop that off of there. The bit that I would usually use for this is missing in action right now, so that's why it's taking me a bit longer. All right, so now we've got the plastic impeller off of there. Let's see if we can focus on this a little bit better. There we go. So this is that that metal insert that I was telling you about. This is what's seized to the shaft right now. And you could actually probably put a socket on that, but you know, the problem is, like I said earlier, from experience, this is probably seized on there so well that if you put enough pressure on there, it would actually break the shaft. So what we're going to do is very carefully cut around that, and then we're going to get it off that way. Alright, now you can see why I've been being so careful with this. I'm taking my time because I do not want to damage these threads. So we've gotten down to where the threads are. Now it should be pretty easy to get this off of here. One thing I wanted to point out to you, if we can focus this at all. Now you can see how thin this piece is. The diameter of this is quite a bit thinner than the entire shaft. So this is the part here that would just snap right off if you put too much force on it. So that's why we've done this the way we've done this today, is to protect the rest of this pump. So now we're out $30 for an impeller, but we've saved the entire $400 pump. All right, guys. So we're all done. Here's our Here's our piece that we ended up cutting off, if you guys can see that. So, I don't know, you probably saw me struggling a little bit. It's kind of funny, I actually misplaced some of the bits for my Dremel. So I ended up kind of just using what I had, which sometimes if you're out in the field working, that's all you got to kind of MacGyver it, but whatever. I got it done. You can see basically the whole basic concept. So now we've saved a $400 pump. We had to buy a $30 impeller, and now we're good to go. So I just want to say thank you so very much for watching my video. You know, hopefully if you have any questions or comments, just let me know, leave it in the subject, or, you know, feel free to hit me up on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, vital_reef. And hey, thanks so much. And if you have any suggestions for the next video, let me know.